Greetings all, and welcome aboard. This is Commander Kimball K, but please just think of me as Kim. Since we've pretty much established by the previous Following RaXXLa presentations that the Large Magellanic Cloud is the mother of galaxies, and the Small Magellanic Cloud is her apparent child, we'll just call them the mother and the child, respectively, for the purposes of this presentation. So much easier to say. Since we're definitely heading out on another exploration adventure, let's get underway during the following explanation. Ironically, when producing the epilogue to Following RaXXLa, the expectation was that the story would be wrapped up. Isn't that what epilogues are for? Well, as it turns out, not in this case. During the story's epilogue production, the story continued to unfold. Well then, it seems that we're not quite done yet. So now let's pick up our story where we left off. Newsflash! Holy mackerel! Something amazing has happened during the production of this presentation. So amazing that it may take some time and research to unboggle this mind. Fortunately, we do have a record. What I saw might just be a persistent HUD glitch, but if it isn't, it must be something else, and the implications are large. Could even be swirling stars. There'll be more to come on this. And here we are, after this pilot has had some time to unboggle the mind and digest some new insight. Insight apparently coming from some unknown source via Greenback's HUD display. You can't make this stuff up. Here are the mother and child's relative orientations last December. Notice the angular positioning of the mother's head and features with respect to the child, and the crown stars aligned with her head. It was this orientation of the mother with respect to the crown stars in front of her head that led us to the RaXXLa jewel, Theta Doradus, and finally the destination, 6 Lambda Laportus, by following the RaXXLa route via the corresponding dark wheel toast directives. Identifying that jewel first depended on being at Ra and noticing the position of the mother's head with respect to the crown stars, and then following the first dark wheel toast directive. Reaching the destination depended on first reaching the jewel. That activated the second toast directive. To the whisperer of witch space, the siren of the deepest void. What was seen, recorded, and reported earlier that was so amazing was an apparent movement of stars on the galactic scale. What? This apparent movement occurred on or before March 4th, when it was first noticed by this commander. Just noticed it while at Ra producing the rehash of the Following RaXXLa epilogue presentation. Next, seen from Ra, here's the mother's angular position on March 4th with respect to the galactic child. What? Notice that the large cloud is rotated clockwise about its center by approximately 120 degrees from the relative angle it was at in the December image. The child is also rotated clockwise, an equal amount. swirling stars? Apparently. Of course, it's unlikely that the stars of the mother have actually spun in such a way. So that leaves some anomaly or malfunction with the HUD display as the most likely cause. Now, this pilot's long experience with shipboard HUD displays has been that they have the most fundamentally rock-solid reliability of any component of our interstellar travel technology. Yet here are these spun HUD representations of the mother and child. And some hours later, on the same date, the displayed orientations of the mother and child were back to their familiar December positions. So if the HUD is not malfunctioning, what's going on here? It seems unlikely this could happen unless there's something really interesting going on. And just look at the new position of the mother with respect to the stars in front of her. She now appears to have a new jeweled tiara at her new head position. It's as if some intelligence that can control our HUD display is using it as a communications device to teach us something while not interfering with the HUD's normal function. That's impressive. Recall our earlier analogy from the Following RaXXLa presentation of the RaXXLa corpus being like an indirect address register of the sort used in computer programs. Such a register has its own name and address, in this case, RaXXLa and the codex, but it contains variable data that's the address of another location, which, in this case of RaXXLa, is 6 Lambda Leporis. We also noticed that the first 2 letters of the RaXXLa root destination name is La, L-A, the last 2 letters of the word RaXXLa. Perhaps we have now been shown by these swirling stars how the variable data contained in that register is varied, and how the root names may change. Also, we can notice that the RaXXLa root is between systems, not planets or other bodies, so it's a system scale directive. Wow, could the RaXXLa root be just one of a family of such roots, each selected by a different angular position of the mother with respect to the child and the stars on her brow? The same pair of go-to directives of the dark-wheeled toast might still apply in a consistent way to the new jewel that the head has been rotated to align with. May be seen from the location of the new jewel. There's a new comet star similar to the one seen between the Whisperer and the Siren from the first jewel. Wouldn't that be something? But why say in the case of RaXXLa? Well, think of what we've noticed about the RaXXLa sequence. Ra remains the starting location, no change there. If rotating the mother has put a new crown on her head and a new jewel burning on her brow, that would represent a new indirect address, a new location pointed to by the register. The first X would be the new jewel, and the second X, the new destination. But remember that the LA, the LA in RaXXLa, is part of the destination name. So if the new destination's name were Dipsodeep, the new root would be RaXXD, because Dipsodeep's first 2 letters become the last 2 letters of the root name. The implication is that Rax is the basic name of the register, with the last two letters being variable data specific to the destination, again like a checksum. It's as if we're inside one of those old television boxes and seeing its channel selector rotated by someone we can't see on its outside. Those old things used a very large vacuum tube for a display device. Maybe that's why we find grid resistors floating around in space. Now, how's that for a loose connection? At any rate, there's the testable speculation for this step, but there's only one way to test it, friends. So let's go there. What we're seeing now is Greenback's visual jump log from the actual journey to these new jewel and destination prospects. The target star remains at center screen. Jump lengths vary, but most are less than 50 light years. And there's our jewel target system, which turns out to be Beta Horologii. And here we are at Beta Horologii. Let's see if this is a new jewel by seeing if the second directive of the dark wheel toasts makes sense from this location, as it did from Theta Doradus, the RaXXLa jewel. We need to see the Whisperer, the Witch Head Nebula, and the Siren, Barnard's Loop, with a bright star right between them, just like we did at Theta Doradus. And there they are, all three. Now that bright star between the two nebulae is our new target star. Let's go there. Well, there it is, our new jewel destination. It's Rigel. I don't think that one's even permit locked. Let's go check it out. And here we are, friends, at our destination, Rigel. If this is a RaX destination, there must be something interesting to see here. Good look at Barnard's Loop, that's for sure. How about the Witch Head? No, there it is. What is it we're supposed to be seeing? Maybe we're supposed to be seeing our new location. Well. What a coincidence. We're in the Call 70 bubble again, in close proximity to 6 Lambda Laboris, the RaXXLa destination, and to Shinvi. I suppose the name of the RaX route from Ra to Rigel would be RaXXRi. Let's call it that unless we find out something different. As for just who the mysterious source of the swirling stars inside is, well, that's food for thought and a topic for another time. There's more to come, though, even if we don't hear from our mysterious mentor again. Yet somehow, I think we will. Till then, friends, 07.